This is Off the Cuff, and I'm Steve from TorahFamily.org. A while back, there was a thought introduced that implied saying the word Amen at the end of prayers is something we shouldn't do. The thought goes something like this. The word Amen is actually the name of an Egyptian god. So, when you close your prayer by saying Amen, you're actually addressing that prayer to that specific Egyptian god. Well, there is indeed an Egyptian god whose name sounds like the word Amen, pending how you pronounce it anyway. His name was Amun, or Aman. Pending where you look, some references actually have his name as Amen. He eventually became known as Amun-Ra, or Amen-Ra, which actually was the blending of the two deities together as one, Amun and Ra. To our understanding, he became known as the king of the gods and the god of the wind. So, depending on how one says it, this was indeed an Egyptian god whose name was close to the Hebrew word Amen. That all being said, we personally struggle with not saying a Hebrew word because it's similar to a word or a name in a pagan religion. If we stop saying Amen for the sake of its usage in another culture, how would that be any different from us no longer looking at the stars in the sky and searching for the signs that they were intended for, since there are astrologers now that misuse them? Wouldn't that at least be the same in nature? To us, just because something is misused or abused, it doesn't mean we should abandon it because of how someone else is using it. You see, it's guilty by association. It's the placement of guilt on the word Amen simply because of how it's used by others. The rainbow was given to us by Yahweh to remind us of His promise that He would never flood the earth again. But in recent years, the rainbow has been utilized as an emblem to represent a lifestyle contrary to the Torah. So, do we avoid the rainbow now, even though it was given to us from Yahweh? I guess all we're saying is that the enemy has always taken what is good and twisted it for his benefit. But if we run from all that he's twisted, eventually there wouldn't be anything left. When reading about the New Jerusalem coming down in Revelation, it's often assumed to be a huge cube. And we agree it could very easily be. However, we can easily see the New Jerusalem as a pyramid just the same by the dimensions given to us. But in many cultures, the enemy uses the pyramid for himself. Some people hesitate at the thought of the New Jerusalem being a pyramid simply because of the connotation associated with pyramids through other cultures. But if the enemy wants to be the capstone like Yeshua, doesn't it make sense that he would only mock the original through false religions? Now, whether the New Jerusalem is a pyramid or not is yet to be seen. But if it is, the enemy has successfully stolen that from believers already. Again, the focus here is, do we give something up that was given to us by the Father simply because the enemy utilizes it for himself? It's been suggested that maybe we shouldn't speak Hebrew at all and only speak what a Hebrew word means in our own language. But if we're to stop saying Hebrew words and only say what they mean, well, shouldn't we do that with everything then? I mean, I'm not trying to be sarcastic here. I'm just trying to look at this as a whole. So instead of saying Shabbat Shalom, maybe we should just say Sabbath Peace. But again, wouldn't that be getting rid of the original because of misuse? If we look hard enough, we may find many more things that we would need to reconsider saying or doing simply because of those words and usages in other cultures. The same occurs with the Egyptian god Set. Set is also known as Seth and is the Egyptian god of war, chaos, and storms. But set is a word we use when we say set apart, which is what the word holy and Kodesh means. We're not referring to the Egyptian god Set. It's simply an occurrence that happens at times between different languages. To us, the Torah is the foundation. The word Amen is in the Torah. The word Amen, or Amen, carries the meaning so be it, and I firmly agree. The verb form is aman, meaning to support, to make firm. Why should we allow anyone to remove part of that foundation from us? The Hebrew word for amen is frequently found in the scriptures. Here's the word for amen, or amen, in the Hebrew. We looked this word up in the Tanakh and found it to be in many places, especially the Torah, like this one in the book of Numbers, where Yahweh commands it to be said. Numbers 5:22. May this water that brings the curse enter your body, so that your abdomen swells and your thigh wastes away. Then the woman is to say, Amen, so be it. Then we have the 12 times that it's said in Deuteronomy 27, verses 15 through 26. Verse 15, Cursed is the man who carves an image or casts an idol, a thing detestable to Yahweh, the work of the craftsman's hands, and sets it up in secret. Then all the people shall say, Amen. Verse 16, Cursed is the man who dishonors his father or his mother. Then all the people shall say, Amen. This continues in like manner through verse 26. Here are many other verses where this word is also used. 1 Kings 1:36, Jeremiah 11:5, Jeremiah 28:6, Psalms 41:13, Psalms 72:19, Psalms 89:52, Psalms 106:48, Nehemiah 5:13, Nehemiah 8:6, and 1 Chronicles 16:36. In our research, we just haven't seen enough evidence to convince us to abandon a Hebrew word out of fear that Yahweh will mistaken our prayer to actually be to another deity. If we were speaking the specific language that the foreign god was a part of, then that may have more credibility to the view. But the mere fact that we're using his language and applying it to what it means on his standards, how can the Father take it any differently? If Yahweh commands his people to say Amen, why should there be a debate if we should say it or not? Well, that's all I have. Think about it. Pray about it. But more than anything, be a doer of the word and not a hearer only. Until next time, Shalom.